Hey everyone, Dungeon Damsel here, and in this video, the creator of Shadowdark, Kelsey, is going to talk about Unnatural Selection, which is my Shadowdark supplement that is launching on BackerKit tomorrow. We'll also hear Dungeon Craft and Dungeon Masterpiece weigh in on their opinions. But enough of that, let's let Kelsey tell you all about it.
So this is a super cool book that is coming up pretty soon, actually, on a Kickstarter release, and it's by the Dungeon Damsel team. So we have a team of 2 people. We've got Bunny and Zane, who are a writer and artist team, and they've been developing some super cool material for Shadowdark, and I got a chance to look through their free quick start guide that they sent me, and I am super impressed by it. So I want to talk about a couple of my favorite bits from it and show those to you guys. Okay, so first off, we have some really cool ancestries here, and what I think is so awesome about these is that there's a blend of stuff that is gonna work really well to pull 5th edition players, I think, into Shadowdark. The Dungeon Damsel team made a really cool set of ancestries here, including a Dragonborn, a half-troll, which is super cool, Shadow Elf, and a Tiefling, and a few more, plus this super cool art by Mark Lyons, who has also done some art in the Shadowdark RPG core book. So these, I think, are going to be really exciting to people, especially coming from 5th edition or people who just want more options for ancestries. And one thing in particular that I really like is that the Tiefling has probably one of the most clever implementations of dark vision, or infravision in this case. As some of you may know, dark vision is pretty much verboten in Shadowdark RPG, but here I feel like the Dungeon Damsel team has done such a clever implementation where once a day the Tiefling can see heat signatures of living creatures for 3 rounds. So you activate it, it lasts for 3 rounds, and that's it. And I think that's a very clever way to introduce a form of dark vision and make it really special and cool without making it in any way upset the underlying systems in Shadowdark. So alongside these new ancestries, you're also going to see a handful of new classes that are really cool. You've got the Beastmaster class, you've got the Grave Warden, the Plague Doctor, and there's so much cool material in support of them. There are new backgrounds, a bunch of new spells, and one of the things in particular that is really cool that kind of ties a lot of these classes together are the Nature Spirits and the Death Pantheon. This is an introduction of 4 new deities, and I really love these names. There's Lithia, the Shatterer of Chains. We have Dominus, the Harbinger of Suffering. Morthrax, the Devourer who consumes souls. And then Paradine, the Arbiter who administers just and accurate judgment. So I think these are all really cool. The names are cool. I mean, who wouldn't want to be like, Morthrax, aid me? So I'm very excited to get to use these in my own game. All right, now check this out. So the Grave Warden class is a spellcasting class. They're full casters and they get spells up to 5th tier. And there's a bunch of new spells that the Dungeon Damsel team made to go along with them. But I love this mishaps table for them. I love it when there are exciting names and effects. And I am telling you, the number 1 spot on here has to have a cool name with it because characters are going to scream that or players are going to yell that out loud when they roll it. And this one is Perdition. So again, like Morthrax, I'm going to be very excited to both yell or hear my players yell Perdition when they roll this. And check this out, like look at number 11, one of your fingers must be amputated. Number 9, mishap, you summon a wight that attacks you and your allies. I mean, I as a game master, absolutely love this. So you get a lot of cool spells and magic options too in this book. And I know that the full book is going to have a ton of new spells, but the Quick Start Guide here has a really good selection to get you started with the classes that are in the book. And I think these are all very cool. I love this darkness one with the art with just the blinking like cartoon eyes. You have to have a playful piece of art in every book, and this one really cracked me up when I saw it. This is really cool. Thrall Offering, Touch of Fatigue, Undeath Blessing, very cool and very flavorful. And the last thing I want to touch on with this is the ceremonies. Now, this is an alternative way to do carousing. So in Shadowdark, characters accumulate gold and then they spend it to gain more XP. And it's a way to kind of keep the characters hungry for more gold and a way to reward them, you know, outside of just hoarding a bunch of treasure. So the ceremonies here are so fun. You're basically going on kind of like an ayahuasca odyssey, and you can spend more collective gold to have a higher bonus on what you're gonna roll. And I love the way that the ceremonies are described in here. The actual outcomes of the ceremonies are really fun. They're really crazy. So, when you're in the lower rolls, the lower possible outcomes, you're usually gonna be paying some kind of cost. Like there's sometimes an effect where like you lose 15% of your wealth, or you have something kind of unfavorable happen to you, but you always gain XP no matter what. So it's not ever going to be really a loss. And as you get to these higher numbers, you actually can gain some really cool permanent bonuses, which makes them really appealing to aim for. If you actually get a 13 or higher on your roll, which is hard to do, but it's entirely possible, you actually are gonna gain advantage on wisdom checks going forward, which is super cool. Like that's kind of a representative way of saying that maybe you achieved some kind of really incredible insight on this journey that you went on. So I think that's a really neat thing. So there's a lot more to see in this quick start guide. I would really encourage you to check it out. It's free. You can download it, and the Kickstarter for Unnatural Selection is going to be live any day. So keep an eye out for it. I'm going to be first in line to pledge, and I'm really excited for this one.
I think it's dope as hell, and I think the thing that's cool about it is just you nailed the font and the layout of Shadowdark. It is absolutely seamless, and for people that want to bring something like tieflings, right? You got the tieflings in there. You want to import those kind of things, but still have the Shadowdark feel where nothing can see in the dark, which is biologically accurate. No animals can see in the dark. I had an episode with a veterinarian. She confirmed that. It was echolocation. It's a totally different thing. But you could take those things and import them, and you can have a richer game. If that's what your players want, there you go.
I would say that it is a completely stellar example of what high quality third party content should look like.
Damn.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Listen to these epic nerds, epic nerds. They know what they're talking about. They know. Support my project on BackerKit. Yeah, help me reach my funding goals. Yeah.